Hi, my name is Sarah. I just got done backpacking in the Grand Teton National Park, and I thought I'd film just like a quick what was in my bag. It's been about 2 days since I was on the trail, and I have not yet unpacked. So I thought I would just go through what I packed by unpacking my bag. The first thing to note though is that it's just like not organized. I always start with a really organized pack, and then by the end of it, it's like just a disaster. So there isn't a lot of rhyme or reason to how it's packed. So first off, the bag is a Gossamer Gear Gorilla 50 liter. I really like this pack. I've gone through about three others. I started with an Osprey Aura, which I think is like a classic pack for anyone starting backpacking, and it was great in the beginning. Then I wanted something lighter, so I got a Hyperlight, which I absolutely hate. I hate that bag. I had the Junction 2400, and I didn't like it because of the fit. I have a pretty short torso. I'm about 5'3", for anyone curious, and so it just didn't fit me right. So then I got an Osprey Kite 46 liter, I want to say. It was a great bag, just heavier than what I was looking for. So Gossamer Gear Gorilla 50, I have a size small. I think it's a wonderful pack, and it fits a short female torso pretty well. So I'll start by opening up the pack. You can see I still have the permit and everything attached to this bag. So once you open it up, there's a little clip here as well. So again, no rhyme or reason to how this is packed really. First thing I have is the Arc'teryx. I believe it's the Cerium down jacket. I got this jacket about 5 years ago, and it is my favorite down jacket of all time. I also have a Patagonia down the zip with the hoodie. It's a great jacket. I think it's actually warmer than this one, but I believe it's heavier, and it also just doesn't fit my body as well, so the fit of this one is just the best, in my opinion. So then we've got, we're in, because we're in bear country, I had to bring a bear can. So this is the Bear Vault 500, or the BV 500. As you can see, it still has a ton of food in it. I had a really bad appetite the entire trail. We were planning on doing 6 days. We did 3 days, which you can hear more about. I have a vlog that's going up on my channel soon that talks about our experience and does more of the vlog style stuff. But so I have a ton of food left over in here, and you can let me know if you're interested in seeing a video about what I bring for food. I am vegan and gluten-free, so all of that is vegan and gluten-free. Yeah, so that is the main weight. It's really heavy. So continuing on, we have these Smartwool socks, which I bring for sleeping. I like my socks to be pretty loose when I sleep, so I wear these. I've also tried wearing Darn Toughs while I sleep, but they were just too tight. So I've got some Smartwool socks. And then we've got an extra pair of Injinji toe socks. I believe these are just the trail ones. These are incredible. I haven't had a blister ever since I switched to these socks, so big fan, big believer. And then I brought this, I don't think it could be called a rain jacket. It's a rain shell. It's the Patagonia Houdini jacket. I think it's pretty comparable to, I think it's the Outdoor Research Helium. I think it's Outdoor Research. But I really liked this. This really helped keep me warm in the wind. It was pretty windy up there, especially on the pass, so really enjoyed this jacket. Incredibly lightweight winter. Then I have an extra pair of underwear. These are just some Smartwool underwear. I really like their underwear. Not much to say about those. And then we've got my Smartwool base layer pants. I slept in these. I believe these are called the Knitwear Smartwool base layer. Not exactly sure. They kept me warm. When I was sleeping, I slept in these, a Smartwool long sleeve shirt, which I think, yeah, is right here. in the front pocket. So this is a Smart Wool long sleeve base layer. I also hiked in this the entire time. I absolutely love these. This is the Merino 150 Smart Wool shirt. I slept in that, those Smart Wool base layer pants, and the Smart Wool. Wow, I must really like Smart Wool because my underwear are also Smart Wool. I slept in those and I was warm enough the whole time. Continuing on, I have, this is the, blanking. This is the stuff sack for my quilt, which I didn't actually use for that. I use it as a pillow and then I stuff it with my clothes. I had brought this backcountry Tahoe sun hoodie. I love this sun hoodie. I wore it on the Tahoe Rim Trail when I was doing that for a day. I didn't actually use it on this trip, now that I'm thinking about it. I brought it and it lived in this stuff sack and I used it as a pillow, but I never used it. So I wouldn't bring this on the into the Tetons. I didn't need it at all. I was primarily in the Smart Wool, and then I also wore a Patagonia Capeline t-shirt. So didn't need this. Don't need that. But then, as I said, there's the stuff sack for my quilt. So now we're moving into the sleep system, which is also in the main body. This is, as we all know if you watch a bunch of backpacking videos, the Thermarest Neo Air X-Lite Women's. Wonderful pad. It got very cold at night, and I do sleep with a quilt, and so it's pretty important to have a sleeping pad that's also warm enough and it's going to help insulate me. So I love this one. I don't keep it rolled up. I fold it up, like you saw when I pulled it out, and then I just lay it against my back. So. And then the last thing that's in the body of my bag so this is my quilt, and I keep it in a trash bag. I keep it in the trash bag just in case it does rain. When we headed out on into the Tetons, they said it might actually snow the first night, which it didn't, thankfully. But I do keep it in the trash bag, and if it were to rain, I would also probably put my down jacket in there, of course. But anyway, this is the Thermarest Vesper 20 Degree. I absolutely love this quilt. It has never let me down. I have never had any issues with it. I sleep warm in it, which is kind of a miracle since I sleep cold pretty much all the time. So Vesper 20 Degree Thermarest quilt gets an A+ from me. So now we're going to just move into this outer kind of mesh pocket. The first thing in here is this is the Arc'teryx Atom LT jacket. That's what it looks like. This is a synthetic down jacket. I really like hiking in this jacket just because if you sweat in a down jacket, it's gonna compress the down in your armpits. You might really just compress the down, that's the big issue, and you can't wash those. So with the synthetic down, you can wash them. If you sweat in them, they're not going to have any issues, and if it rains, you're not going to ruin your jacket. So this is what I like to hike in when it's cold, like when we went over the big pass. This is what I wore along with, I believe, the Houdini, Patagonia Houdini wind or rain jacket. Love this. I also, when I was at camp, would bundle up with that and the down jacket all layered on top of each other because it got really cold at night. So I think this is the last piece of clothing. This is an Outdoor Research. I think it's called the Melody beanie. It's really thin. This is not the kind of hat that would actually keep you incredibly warm, but it does help insulate your head a little bit. I wouldn't buy this again, I don't think. I think I would get a Smart Wool beanie. This is really lightweight. It does fit into all the teeny crevices, but I would invest in a Smart Wool hat if I were doing this again. So then we have, in a Ziploc, I have the maps for the camp zones. For anyone who has not hiked in the Tetons, essentially you get a permit to camp in a certain zone, and then when you pick that permit up from the ranger station, they will give you something like this for all of the camp zones where you are camping. And so it shows you like where the campsites are, because they are pretty dispersed. So for example, when we were camping in South Fork Cascade Canyon, the camp zone was about 5 miles long, so there were campsites dispersed throughout that. So these just helped with that, and I put them in a Ziploc just in case it rains. They don't get ruined, and I still know where the campsites are. So then we have fuel. I just brought this guy. It's still pretty full. I did use a stove. I'll have to pull that out of my bear can, which is going to be a bit of a task. Okay, so I'm coming at you from the future. I realized in the future that I did not show my cook system, and so I'm opening up my bear can right now, and I'm just going to show you that and a couple other things, and then it'll go back to the main video. So I have my med kit, in which I have Band-Aids, alcohol wipes, moleskin. I bring Advil, Advil PM, and Pepto-Bismol tabs. So that's kind of my first aid kit, along with just some chapstick. And I bring sunscreen because, you know, at high altitude that exposure is real. And, okay, having trouble getting it out. I have the Tokes long-handled titanium spoon. I really like this. I would recommend it. Super lightweight. And so then, in terms of cook system, I bring the Tokes 650, I think it's milliliters, pot. Just looks like this. Really lightweight. I love the top of it as well. Open it up. And then the stove that I use is the Soto Windmaster. I bought this a while ago. I had heard really great things, but then it didn't fit as well in my pot as I wanted, so I ended up buying the Pocket Rocket Deluxe and realized after a little while of trying both of them that I actually prefer this guy, and I ended up returning the Pocket Rocket Deluxe. So I'll just show you this one. So it comes with the main body of it, and then I don't even know what this is called, the top of it, where the pot sits. And it just slides on, and then you can set your pot on top. So that's the stove I use. It has an igniter, which is one of the reasons that I preferred it to another one. I've had stoves in the past that you need a lighter for, and when it's really cold, I'm lazy and it hurts, and so I decided to buy one with the igniter, so I went with this guy. Alright, back to the main video. And then for water filtration, there's still water in it, I need to clean this. We have the Canuck Outdoor Vecto 2-liter water bladder with a Sawyer attached to it. Really easy system. I really like this. I had the Sawyer, like the ones that usually come with it, for a while. Those were just incredibly frustrating, so I switched to just using a smart water bottle and, you know, squeezing that, having like a dirty and a clean bottle. But that got kind of tiring, so I switched to this guy. Haven't had any issues. The only thing I would note is that I will be like scooping into a like small water source, and it does stir up quite a bit of sediment, so you get some sediment in the bag, but it filters out, so it's fine. And also, Sawyer, can't go wrong, in my opinion. I do not have the micro. I've never used anything besides the classic one, but I've heard the micro is not as good, so I've steered clear of that. For this trip, I bought this new headlamp, which is the BioLight, and I think it's the 150 or the 200 lumen. Anyway, really loved this. It is so bright. The first time I turned it on, it kind of blinded me. Worked really well, and it's really light, and it's rechargeable. It's not like you put batteries in it. Yeah, really loved this. And then for the other things I was wearing, I brought this Patagonia, I think it's called the Black Hole fanny pack. I am allergic to bees and bee stings, so inside I keep my EpiPens, and then I also have a little pepper spray on here. Can't be too safe. So that's what's carried in here. I ended up putting it on the outside of my pack because, to be honest, there were not that many bees up there, so my alert was low. So I was like, I probably don't need this. So I put it in there. And then I'm not going to pull out my whole like bathroom setup, but I do have the Deuce of Spades trowel, bring some toilet paper. I bring wet wipes because it's nice to feel extra clean. And then, you know, the Kula cloth, which is a classic for women on trail. What else? Oh, and then, so my partner brings the body of the tent, and then I carried the poles and the stakes. We used the Big Agnes Fly Creek Mountain Glow UL2. That's a mouthful. I love that tent. I got it at an REI used garage sale about 5 years ago. I know a lot of people have criticism of that tent, especially because of the one door in the front opening system, but I mean, I really could not care less. So that tent works really well for us. I have had to change the cord inside of the tent poles, but I mean, it's not a big deal, pretty easy to do, and I think we brought about 6 stakes, for anyone curious. And then, obviously, some bear spray. If you're in the Tetons, you are, I don't know about bound to see some bears, but we did see a bear, a mother bear and her cub, from a very far distance, but you know, you want to be safe, so brought the bear spray. And then the last portion of this pack is this top pouch. There's a zip pouch. And yeah, I think that's the only thing in here. So this is the power bank that I like to use. It is an Anker 26,800 and it is heavy. This thing, I want to say is about 2 pounds, maybe 1.5. So it's definitely a commitment. I use it to, I realized I didn't turn this around, I use it to charge my Garmin, and I also use it to charge my phone so that I can use my Garmin with my phone. So this is useful for me. I bring it with the cord for an iPhone. I have an iPhone 6. Yeah, I know, it's pretty ancient at this point. And I also bring a cable to charge the Garmin. So that is everything. The last thing I will say is I also brought my big DSLR camera, which I'm filming on right now. Because I do have an iPhone 6 still, the photos aren't going to be as good quality, so I bring my DSLR camera. And I always forget what it is. It's the Nikon D3000. Yes, I was reading it off of there. I love that camera. It definitely adds some weight, and I do secure it with the... Why am I forgetting what this is called? Anyway, secure it with this. I'll leave the link in the bio if you're interested in this guy, and I'll also leave a link to my lighter pack gear list. That is everything that I can think of that I carried in this. We had a great time. I went with my partner Josh. If you want to see the vlog, like I said, it's also on my channel. Until next time, thank you for watching, and I hope to see you soon.